Sick of it, okay? I'm sick of it. I'm going behind this wall.
Hi.
Hi, beautiful.
Hello. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys, this is a special episode of the Secret Recipe podcast. Y'all know my new podcast is out, and I would be absolutely remiss to not have this beautiful lady who I remember, we've been together 10 years, we've been married 5. 5 years ago, when me and my husband had to choose our wedding song, and we were like, okay, you know me, I'm a little urban, so I'm like, I really want to come out. I don't know if y'all know this minor, small fact, but my brother is Shawty Low, right? So I wanted to come out to Done It All.
Yeah.
I wanted to come out. He's like, no. He's like, yeah, we can do that, but we're gonna dance to a couple of forevers. And like, I just want to let you know that for you to be able to create a song that is so important to so many marriages, especially for people that, like myself, after my first marriage, I didn't think I could find love again. I was kind of giving up on love, and I was just like, yeah, maybe it's time for me to be outside. So when I found Zoe and we chose that song, I truly think every single day about a couple of forevers. And I think that when we start relationships and we get into small arguments, or we're having bad times financially or whatever, me and Zoe literally quotes. Like when we have our little things, and I might be like, wow, you didn't put the toilet seat down, blah, blah, blah. He'd be like, a couple of forevers, right? Like, so it kind of ends like, all right, we're going to beef about this small issue. Are we on a couple of forevers together, So how does it feel for...
It's a theme.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like you have to choose the same thing every single day. Sometimes people make a commitment in their life and they choose it for that moment. But marriage and any type of relationship that's meaningful to you, you got to choose it every single day. And so when you create music, your thought is, how do I become the anthem for this moment? Because anthems live forever. And so a couple of forevers, even though I'm not a lovey-dovey person, I'm just not.
Really?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
How will we know that is what?
I just have a lovey-dovey voice. Yeah, but I'm not lovey-dovey.
She's like, I'm really put on this earth to do trap music, but...
or just so many things. You understand what it is when you have so many qualities, but when you see that, something can serve somebody in a certain kind of a way, and you can create for something that somebody may need, then you give that. And that's what selfless, entrepreneurship is all about.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how did you get here? Tell me your journey, because I know that so many aspiring or, independent music artists are watching and they're like, if I could just create that one iconic song that is sung forever and ever, because I feel like nowadays music is so trendy. So you experience a point in life where you're like, oh, what happened to that person? Oh, that one song. But you have so many. Like, if you didn't make another song, again, we're still singing songs from years ago, right? So how does one get into that, building that like iconic artistry?
The truth is that you have to be okay with people's visions. Right, because there's a lot of visionaries, but sometimes as an artist, you want to be the visionary. And so you get really selfish and cocky about saying, I have to be the person who made this thing, instead of being the person who is the thing. And so a lot of times when it comes to I'm going to use the word branding because it resonates in this room, but when it comes to branding sometimes you want your color to be yellow. But when you sit with a branding expert, they say, you know what, that idea is more of a pink and white kind of a thing. So for me, because I have a lovey-dovey voice, people understand this lovey-dovey sound that I do not understand. I don't think about it. I don't listen to it. It's not my thing at all. But I follow instructions very well because I know that I have something that can be branded in a certain kind of a way. So love is one of those things that I've learned to listen when people talk about. I listen to every love story. I read every love book. I say, wow, he did what? Like even out there with your, am I allowed to talk about it?
Sure.
Even out there with your love moment with your man and him giving you those presents, I just watched and all like, that's what love looks like for them. That's a song. I would have never thought about it if I didn't see it. Wow. So for me, it's about being okay with visionaries seeing something in me. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
I love that. And I love that you speak so highly about that because so many artists want to be the face and they don't ever put on the people that actually made, like we craft. Like I believe that I was actually put on this earth more than just my personal brand. I was actually put on this earth as a architect. I build people, I craft people. Me being a brand strategist, I can see it before you see it. I see things in you that you could never see in yourself. So I feel like when I work with a client, they're the clay, and I'm building them into something that they don't even know that they have the capacity to be.
Yeah, I call it a gift of collaboration, because then when it comes to hip hop, I'm gonna write you a hook. That Aston Martin, that was all Chris.
I was gonna say.
Show me the car. Like, all Rick Ross had to do was say, come to my garage. I said, okay, I got the hook. You know what I mean? Because I love hip hop. Like, it's me. So, y'all were talking earlier about, segmenting. For weddings. And you will make that declaration to writers and you say, oh, y'all write wedding songs? Write me one. Right? And you're going to pay top dollar for that writing and that producer. And then you're going to go in your backyard and hang out with your microphone, and you're going to write stuff that costs you $10. And they may not be your single, but your fan base, who understands all of who you are, they become the people who you tour for, and they know every song on the whole record. Whereas some people just know a couple of Forevers and Aston Martin music.
Yeah. Monetary, right? Because I think people think that once you have a hit on the once you have a hit on the radio and you're charting, that you're making millions and millions of dollars. And sometimes
you are.
The collaborators, right, are also eating a piece of the pie, right? And you spoke about having to pay someone for that hit record versus writing a song and paying $10 for it, where you own the royalties or you own the full pie.
The full pie.
Yes.
I like pie. We at the bakery.
Yes.
You have to think about pie. Should I say all the time? Is it okay?
All the time.
You have to think about it all the time. And pies get cut. Pies get cut. And so if you can always have 8 slices, it doesn't matter how many pies, flavors you have on the plate, as long as you always have a full pie. So I think a lot of people are trying to have a whole entire one pie when they can have 8 slices from 8 different pies. You know what I'm saying? So it's about collaborating and being open to other people's pie.
Yes. I love that. When you had those songs, right? I don't know, how many years ago?
Which one? So
like
a couple of
Forevers,
I think was 2014.
In 2014, with a couple of Forevers, were you happy? Were you at the happiest point in your life?
I'm at the happiest point in my life now.
Wow.
Yeah, that part of my life was like, I was listening to all of the kinds of pie. I was learning what the different flavors were. There were all these different meanings to being a black woman in America. And I didn't think that I should just choose one thing because there was so much opportunity. So at that time, it was almost like, I wouldn't call it an identity crisis, but it was like an identity like learning. Because you would go one place and they would say, we can do neo soul here. And then you would go to another place, they say, we could do hip hop here. And then you go somewhere else. You could have a clothing line. Go to the next place. You can do a speaking engagement. There was just so much. And I was one person, and all the niche marketing things hadn't come out yet. Instagram wasn't a thing yet. So if you could do everything, you did everything. Now it's okay to kind of niche down, say this is my client avatar. This is who I market to at all times. Her name is Cinderella, whatever it is. Before, you were talking to everyone, and we had this thing where every single person that you marketed to grew with you. So each part of your brand had to keep evolving. You didn't get to just be one thing. So that's taxing on a human. That's taxing on a person, especially when you're being asked to come up with so many creative ideas. So no, I don't think that was the happiest time. It was a pressing time. Make sense?
Yes, it's so important because, I mean, I've been in the music industry since I was 14 years old. I was the first female artist on Screen Tour. And when a ninth grader, right, is on a huge tour, and I'm literally the first person on stage before the audience gets there most of the time, right? It's so much pressure, but to the outside eyes, they're like, you made it, you won. You're at the happiest point of your life, you are winning, you are amazing. I'm like, no, I want to be in high school, actually. Like, I actually wanted to go to the football game where my boyfriend was playing, but I'm on stage being this robot of what I'm crafted to be, but I know that internally my passion is just that. So I think so many artists are looked at, and I know that there are some artists that are listening and maybe in this room that are looked at as like, you made it, like what you complaining for? Do you know how many artists would love to have a single and love to be on a tour, but they don't, the people that are saying those things are not understanding that honestly, happiness comes from the moments that we are proud of ourselves first, not other people are proud of our accomplishments.
Yeah.
So now you are entering into the Soft Life and the Soft Life tour. You gotta break that down for me because I was just on live the other day. I was like, how are so many people having a soft life? These bills are hard. My bills are not soft. Where is help me evolve to be softer? Because these bills on the first, I just feel like I'm getting jumped. So,
Yeah.
explain.
So for me, the soft life is about keeping a soft heart in a hard world, because this world will crush you if you let it. I've been canceled publicly, and millions of people around the world decided that they would find my phone number, give me death threats, drive up to places that I was at. And so I never wanted to become hard. I never wanted to be angry. I never wanted to adapt ideas that people are bad. I just didn't want to have that energy. I wasn't raised that way. I was very meditative from the time I was very young. Peace was my jam from the time I was a kid. I was raised around seeing people shot and killed on a regular basis. 7 of my cousins died from gun violence. So I couldn't accept hardness because it couldn't be my legacy. I'd seen it already. And so softness for me is about continuing to practice releasing fear, releasing a fear-based mindset, releasing offense and intimidation and this idea that you're not enough, just constantly releasing that idea and knowing that it's not your idea, but that it's a societal oppressive thought that keeps coming to your mind that doesn't belong to you. So the Soft Life Circle Inner Wellness Tour is really more about just kind of letting people know, okay, now that you've seen somebody go through hell in public, maybe I can show you that I wasn't in hell, but that my name was in hell. Because a lot of times with social media, we decide, oh, well, the comment section, well, I don't live in my phone. I live in my home, and on the inside of me can stay soft even if my phone looks hard. So yeah, the bills be billing, right? And life be life, but I can stay soft. I can still love. I can still say hello to people. And I don't have to be afraid of their response, because their response is their experience. Do you know?
Yes, that is like literally chills from everything that you said, because I went through a season in my life with where I felt like, oh my God, I'm too good for these people. I'm not good enough for these people. Who do I be? And then God told me, you be yourself, right? And I had to realize that the comments and the people that are on my Instagram talking about whatever it is, like hurt people. And I never see those people at the bank, right? I never see those people at the bank. I never see those people when I'm on my trips and living my happy, genuine life. And I was allowing those people on a phone, on the internet, on the free internet, to affect my happiness in my real life. And once I understood that way, I never run into these people. And I was going through something on the internet, and I seen one girl who wrote like this whole thing about me, and I was like, wait, her name looks so familiar. And I went through my DMs, and I gave her 3 free courses to help her business. So in that time, you will get hard, because you're like, if I helped all these people, usually the people that are talking bad about you are the ones that you helped. Usually the ones that are talking, mess about your business are the ones that you gave a job to, the ones that you gave an opportunity to. And it will cause you to harden your heart to say, you know what, maybe I need to just focus on me, or maybe I need to just do this or do that. And honestly, I feel like God put us on this earth to help his children, whether we like it or not.
That part.
Whether we like it or not. So I'm so glad that you brought clarity to Soft Life, because I think that so many people are just using trendy terminology and don't really have the full meaning or understanding behind what it is. And like, girl, yes.
Yeah, no, after all the craziness happened, I went and got a yoga instructor's license.
What?
I did, because I said I got to sit still in some quiet for a really long time. And so I just went and sat down for 500 hours and just did a bunch of downward dogs with a bunch of people in New York City. And so, because I needed to feel, because when I tell you, Miss Skittles, I didn't want to get hard. We know what that looks like.
I know. Oh, I know.
We know what it looks like. Business can make people hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
The world in general. Mm-hmm. How did you go through that? Like, taking an opportunity, which to me was an amazing opportunity as an artist. You've sung from Obama, you've sung for everybody, right? So getting an opportunity like that where you're able to sing with Travis Green, right? And you take this amazing opportunity, which you believe could be very pivotal for your career, and then it completely turns into a negative situation for those that didn't understand your purpose in that room. How did you go through those emotions, and is it still impacting you or affecting your career to this day?
Yeah, so initially, I think that the ego, or my ego, especially when you're an artist or a creative, you think you can solve problems by singing songs sometimes. You think, oh, let me go and, sing Heal the World, and everybody will feel better, right? And so we went to this event, and we sang this song, Intentional, this gospel song, and we were like, let's just put good energy into a really bad place, right? Into a really bad experience. And the black community didn't get the message. And they were so angry with the message or whatever they saw. And so I immediately learned right away. This was an easy lesson, right? Some lessons are easy, fast.
Quick.
Right. I learned right away, you can't bring your beauty everywhere, right? You can't, because sometimes you're guilty by association, right? You could be in you could be the most beautiful flower, and be in the ugliest place, and no one will ever pick you because you're just in the wrong surrounding. So in that moment, even though I'm a Christian, right? Even though I think I want to spread love and I want to spread light and positivity, all this kind of stuff, there are places that are so dark that they can't even understand your light. And that's okay. Like, it doesn't make you a dark person now. It just makes you have to be more intentional. Funny thing, the name of the song is called Intentional.
One
that
of
we
my
sang.
favorite songs.
Yeah, so you're thinking, let me be intentional now is the new thing, because I would have never guessed. Growing up in church, they say, go ye out into all the nations, out to all the world. And I'm saying to myself, this is the part where we go out into all the nations. We go out to the world, and we spread the love of Jesus Christ. And Jesus loves you. And they like, nigga, no, he don't. You know what I mean? So I learned really, really fast. Yeah, I learned real fast, like, your messaging has to read the room, how they say. And it was a room that I did not ever try to read, and I didn't know how to read. And it was much bigger than this idea that I could spread light.
I love that so much. And honestly, I feel like at one point in my social Instagram life, I was like canceled or whatever by people that don't have the opportunity to cancel me. So, because God called me, so, God does the canceling around here. $16 million later with my business after being canceled. But I think in that moment where the Black community canceled you, one question that I have inside of me is that now, considering our financial status when it comes to the world, would the same person that they were upset about, right, and they canceled you for, would that be the same person that they would bring back?
You mean Donald Trump?
Yeah.
I don't have the energy to understand who hates me. The Bible says that the heart is desperately wicked. And then it says, who can know it? And then it says, God himself judges the heart. He holds the reins of the heart and is able to judge it. So as a human being living out the light life, I don't even have the capacity to deeply understand darkness, right? So what I had to be okay with is not understanding. People kept saying, well, why do you think you got canceled? I see you're a nice person, or I see you're a good person, or maybe you didn't do it for the money. I know that I did it because I wanted to bring light. I'm clear on that. No one can ask me and I change my mind about that. But when somebody is hateful, I can't sit and fold my legs and put my hands on my knees and meditate to figure out why they're hateful. I don't have the capacity for that.
Yeah, and I feel like it's not even necessary because there's so many people that also have light that you should be pouring into and shining your light upon. And if you focus your light on the darkness, I don't care, y'all.
Why didn't you tell me that first?
I don't care, y'all, how many of us walk into a dark room with flashlights, it will never look like the sun. I don't care how many of us, hundreds of us, could walk into the pitch black room, we're never gonna look like the sun. It just will look like.
Church people do it all the time.
Yeah.
They do it all the time. And they teach you to do it all the time. And so the reason I admire you, the reason is that you shine your light for people seeking light. There are so many people trying to control the darkness and tell the darkness what to do and point their fingers at the darkness, while there are other people who are seeking light that are ignored. Nobody's talking to them. Nobody's saying, how can I help you? And I watch you do that. That's the reason why I agreed to just fly in, because I said, you know what? I got to be a part of that light movement. Like, I just love the way it feels. I needed to rub off on me a little bit, because now I got to be somebody who understands, you know what? I want to serve the seeker. That's why I created the Soft Life Tours, because I said, I've been trying to control the darkness for so long. What happens if I just pour into the people seeking light instead? So this is a mindset shift.
Your answers. Are y'all feeling this? Oh my God, I'm blown away. I'm truly blown away. And now navigating being an entrepreneur in this very tough space of influencers and artists and celebrities, and you've had your boutique now for 2 years. How did you get into it? Oh my God, like, first of all, you're already so stylish, so
Thank you.
Where's the website? I need to buy.
I just like to play in clothes. And it was just a place for me to kind of play during the pandemic. We were like, you know what, let's come up with a business in this crazy time. And I had started this group of women called the Sistership. And I was like, you know what? We're not going to talk about negativity. We're gonna be uplifting, and we're going to dress the way we feel. And so I just started. Me and Tiara went to LA, just got a bunch of stuff, and started selling it. And we were like, oh my God, it sold out really fast. We got to do it again. Yeah, we sell it again. Oh my God, it sold out really fast. And then I was suddenly uncanceled, and I was like, oh my God, now I have to go outside and sell clothes at the same time. How the heck is this going to work? And so, I know I don't have a filter. And
I love the authenticity.
But yeah, so it's been quite the journey with. It's called Moody by Chrisette Michelle. It's been a lot of fun, but it's more difficult than people realize.
Yeah, what are you struggling with most when it comes to having the boutique while managing your very amazing career, going on a tour, record deals galore? How are you managing your business?
Managing the business isn't hard. I'll be honest with you. What's hard is leaving the past in the past. Because when you're set up for success, success is actually not difficult. It's just the idea that you're chosen. That freaks me out every day. Every day. I decided this weekend to tap into the whole Miss Skittles movement and be colorful, be okay with it. I got my makeup done 3 times in one weekend. 3 times. Then you gave us flowers, I put them in my hair. I just embraced it. I cried every time she did my makeup and I paid for it. It's not like she just came in a different, and I cried. I said, I just don't feel like I deserve this. Oh. So it's stepping into I can have this and glorify God. Is that okay? Does that make sense? Yeah.
I'm not really. I think, honestly, I'm too emotional to be a podcaster for real. Because every day I'm like, oh my God, I can't pinch myself, what I would usually do, because I'm being filmed. But I'm trying not to cry, because literally, for those that were in the room, you guys got to see my husband gift me an amazing gift, lots of gifts. And, my assistant was like, are you here? Hello? And I was like, no, a part of me doesn't even feel like this is real. A part of me doesn't even feel like I deserve this type of love, and how much, and is it true? Is it real? All of that was going on in my mind. I'm like, oh, these people, oh my God, what are they thinking? All of this is going on while I'm supposed to be living in my moment. But a lot of times, I feel like the world builds us up to make us feel like we are not deserving of this, And I think back, I'm like, whoa, if I can just jog my memory, 6 years ago, I was on an airbed, figuring out my life, building this business plan of this building that we're sitting in today, creating the icing agency. Logos were $49.99. I was figuring all this thing out. I was doing classes in my retail store for $25 to pay my staff. So to be able to walk into the back of my studio and be gifted all of these things, it makes me feel like, is this really happening? Am I really chosen? God, why me, So you spoke what you were saying, I was literally in chills, because I'm like, I think these conversations are so important, because most of the time we feel like we're doing this alone. We feel like I'm the only one.
That's why I came. It's why I came. I just had to be, and at your parties yesterday and the day before, when I saw you in the pink dress, I went to Tiara, I said, Tiara, I think I love her. I think I can feel her energy, that's the energy I've been talking about. I was just so excited because I know how you feel. I know what I'm looking at. It's like you're the light. And people don't realize how hard you're working behind the scenes back there and getting all the stuff done. And then you show up. And every time you showed up, I would just think to myself, she's showing up again. You did it for me, girl. I was so excited. So I think that the community aspect of it, the girl mob aspect of it, is, I think, what we're all attracted to. because it's light energy. And you're teaching us how to be okay with cultivating that kind of community. It's not a poor me community. It's not a victim community. It's not a I need a community. It's a I gotta, let me show you how to get a community. Yeah. It's dope. It's dope.
I appreciate that so much. I just try to be the person that I needed, you know? What is the hardest moment that you went through, and how did you get through it? I think that a lot of people don't express their hard times. And for me, I always try to express, you know, via social media, even though it looks glamorous, y'all, like, y'all love this room, it looks beautiful, right? We didn't leave here at 3 a.m., okay? I was back at 8 getting makeup. My whole team, I was like, y'all better be here at 9. Wipe the crust out of your eyes. Like, it looks glamorous, but it's hard work. And I want to show y'all that it's like, I don't care how much money you have. If you have a dream, you got to get through it. You got to push until you really get it, until you really see it. And it wasn't until 11 o'clock when I walked in and I'm like, see, we got it. We came up with this idea. We fought through the hard challenges. And now look, women, hundreds of women's lives are going to be changed from just today. Right? Y'all feel different? So what was that moment that was like, I ain't going to make it through this? And how did you make it through?
Not going to make it through this. Let me see. I don't like that thought. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I got to come up with a different one. But the hardest moment was, so it was the part where my name was Mud, right? The very beginning of it. And I still had 32 shows. I still had to go back on stage 32 times. And I kept thinking, oh God, they're going to throw tomatoes. And there were thousands of people at the show still. Don't ask me. I don't understand. Canceled is a mindset.
Yes.
But there was this one show girl.
It's always the one. The one comment.
Oh my God, this is so bad. Why'd you ask me this? There was this one show where my husband, he produced that one show, right? All the other shows have already been produced. He produced this one show, and he promoted it himself. And there wasn't a lot of people at this one show. And it was in a busted theater. Yes, ma'am. I said what I said.
Not the husband.
I said what I said. I said what I said. And we were at the brink of ending our relationship. It was getting really, really bad. Because he sort of succumbed to the idea of you're canceled. I heard you're canceled, but I knew God had other plans. And I just knew that I have to find a way to get back in touch with my community. I just knew it was going to take some time, but we'll be back in touch in a minute, you know. And so this busted show, right? He invited the biggest newspaper, yes, to come and photograph.
Is the husband the ops at this point?
He's gone now. But to come and photograph this particular show. And it was on the front page of this newspaper. It's a very big newspaper. And he tried to get, I have bipolar. I'm bipolar type 2. Really? Regular artist, girlfriend. And so he tried to get a doctor's note from my doctor so that he could give it to the newspaper to tell them that she's bipolar type 2. And this was before I had shared it with everybody in the world or whoever listened. That was my lowest moment because I felt so unprotected. I felt so uncovered. I felt like nobody was there by my side. The person who was supposed to be closest to me was tattletelling on me to a major newspaper. That was the moment where I said, okay, I have to walk away from this marriage. People are going to think that I'm walking away from my career, but I have to walk away from this marriage. That knowing felt so lonely, so uncomfortable, so embarrassing, right? I didn't get to talk about it to the public because everybody was upset with me, so I couldn't say, and guys, guess what? Now I'm going through a divorce, you know. But that was dark because the world was grieving, canceling me while I was grieving a divorce. And I had to act like the cancellation was upsetting me. When really, failing a marriage was devastating. I never wanted to be that girl. So it was my lowest moment. And then how did I get through that? I went to my mama's house, and I went to Whole Foods, and I just bought everything in the produce section and once a week and just cooked and cooked and cooked vegan food. And it made us all feel so much better. So yeah, I cooked my way out of it. Yeah, yoga and food and lots of church. The first day I went to church during this time, I had on a red turban and a big red Givenchy hoodie and some spandex and some high boots. And he said, "Girl, you look like the blood of Jesus." I said, that's what Pastor said. So it was church, it was food, it was my mama's house. Yeah.
Okay, cooking lessons
lot.
coming soon.
Yes.
Because maybe I need to cook my way through some stuff, and I don't know how to cook at all.
Just chop stuff.
Chop?
That's therapy.
Okay, but what I'm going to put it in? A pot.
Just playing it.
All right,
Playing your
Girl
food.
Mob Cooking Day. All right. Cool. So, yes, I went through a divorce as well. It was definitely challenging for me. And I lost the relationship but found myself. And I think so many women get into relationships where you truly believe that you are finding yourself in that relationship. And I lost myself in that relationship. So once I lost the relationship, I had to find myself. I had to regain who I was and what I wanted. And I remember my husband at the time saying, your business is gonna fail. I'm just letting you know this. Your business is gonna fail. It's never gonna make enough money to hold you together, and you'll never make money in your sleep because you're shipping shirts, and when you go to sleep, the business stops. Once I moved to Atlanta, I was struggling, you guys, so bad. I was like, okay, he's probably right. I need to get a job. I went to the job for 1 week, and I said, no, God got me. I quit. Y'all, I put on Craigslist. Okay, y'all remember Craigslist? I put on Craigslist, stylist, gigs, under the gigs session, stylist. They called me, and they were like, hey, we're looking for a stylist. I was like, that's me. I didn't really do that much styling, but I felt like I was stylish. So at this point, I'm a stylist, all right? So I showed up to Trinidad James set for All Go to My, okay. And they made me the head stylist on set. And I was able to put all of my t-shirts, Cupcake Mafia, in that video. That Black Friday, which was 2 days later, I had more orders than I physically could ship. So, but God, right? Whatever you are going through in the darkest moments, God would allow you to see the light. You're building the biggest infrastructure in the moments when you are planted, right? You can't build on rocky lands. So God gotta plant you. Like for me, when I lost my company, I thought, oh my God, like, this is my company, this is my baby, this is everything I have. And God said, no, it's okay, we're gonna wipe this away, and I'm gonna plant you. So what you're building when it comes to Girl Mob, the icing agency, and the bakery can be something that's unshakable, unbreakable. And so I'm glad that you expressed that, because so many women are listening or watching this podcast and they're like, I'm in the relationship right now. I'm in a relationship where my guy doesn't pour into me. You know, he actually takes from me. He takes the light away from me. He should be shining a light on me. And I thought I would never get that. Like, I literally lived my life like, I'm never gonna get that. Like, I honestly felt like I needed someone to feel every aspect of my life. Like, I had a guy that was good with communicating, a guy that took me on trips. I never thought I could find that in one person. So once I started dating me and starting falling in love with me, that is truly when I found the person that would love me the way that I needed to be loved.
That's the secret.
That is the secret. That is the secret. So
Not as we. And as we close, after you just got us all together like that.
Seriously, I think, you know, For real, y'all. Like, you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself. Like, y'all say, oh, yeah, I love myself because I get my hair and nails done. No, like, take yourself on the date the way you would want someone to take you on a date. Maintain yourself the way you want. I had to become the wife that my husband needed way before I had a husband. I had to build on me. I had to make sure that I'm showing up to my dates, making time for myself, because if I disappoint me, then I'm gonna allow a man to disappoint me. Like, my husband knows, like, the level of which I go for him, but he has to also go for me as well, because I think my husband hates the fact that he know I would do it myself, so he ain't gonna even check. He's like, I'm gonna do it. Don't worry about it. Like, I got you. Because I know you so independent, I'm like, oh, I was thinking about, I'm gonna get it. Don't even, but when you train yourself to be that person, you will attract that as well.
So, Pastor Ramsey's my pastor here in Atlanta. And the last 2 sermons he talked about was accepting encouragement. Like accepting being lifted by somebody. It sounds to me like that's a mindset.
It is.
That you have. Like you're able to say, I can accept that encouragement. I can accept that love.
Yes.
Okay.
But I had to change. I had to change that. I had to make it that way for me, you know? So
I'm obsessed.
Wait, before we go.
The encouragement.
Yeah. Before we go, let's talk about your record deal, Multiple, and the Soft Life tour, and all that you have going on and where they can find it.
So I'll start the softlifecircle.com, thesoftlifecircle.com. Can we use another word besides cancel? It's becoming a trigger at this point. When I
don't think you were ever
lost my black
canceled.
card. Oh, what is it called?
I just think that you had a lot of people with opinions that don't pay your bills giving you their feedback.
Okay, after that, right? What I began to think of was, first of all, I don't have to sing. It's okay, right? I can do something else. I can become a professor, something else. And so all of a sudden, I start getting show after show after show, but then record labels are like, oh, we like the song you wrote in your prayer closet. Hold on a second.
What?
Yes! So imagine you get to a dark place. And in this dark place, you find Jesus. And you start writing songs to the Lord. Then your friends tell you, Krista, you got to take that into the studio and go record it. And I'm like, I ain't bringing up my prayer life to the studio. That's ridiculous. And all my gospel friends said, no, that's how we do it. We bring our prayer life to the studio. So I go record this music in the studio. I sent it over to my PR person. I said, listen to this, see what you think. She sends it to important record label people. They said, we would like to pay you to put this music. I said, you lying. I said, you're lying to me. So I get a prophecy from the prophet of the house, and she said, there's a composition notebook. You've been writing songs in. She said, I need you to put this music out. I was just like, in front of the church. Oh, God. So after she put that word, started writing songs in there. I said, the prophecy probably gonna happen. However we gotta figure this out. Yes. So those are the songs. So I've been offered record deals. Now record deals are a little different than they used to be. People sign you for multiple genres. So you can sign for one genre, like as an R&B song, then you could do another genre as like CCM music and another as gospel. That's all God. I promise you I was not trying to get that.
Wow.
I promise. That's not even a flex. Like, it freaks me out.
It's a flex.
No, it's not a flex.
We will accept the flex on your behalf.
I'll accept that encouragement. I'm freaked out.
So where can we listen to the song?
So in July, so during the Soft Life Circle Inner Wellness Tour, I'll be sharing this new music, and this is the first time that I'll sing like this for you guys. It's really intimate and very corny and cozy.
We like corny and cozy.
Okay, good, because I'm bringing the first tour, the stop of the tour in Atlanta right here to the bakery, because I just want to, it just feels safe in here.
Safe.
So,
Oh
yeah,
my
we'll do some
God.
prayer and
Are y'all
meditation.
excited about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all, this has been amazing, right? Y'all, make sure y'all tune in to the Secret Recipe Podcast. Like, subscribe, and share if you really enjoyed this. And what is your secret recipe? If you had to describe it in one word.
Joy.
Joy.
That's it.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Y'all give it up, give it up, give it up. I just love coming from behind here. If you need me to rap on your tour, let me know. As they're getting started, I had a young lady. I was going to introduce her business as they're getting set up for our next panel. Who was that young lady? 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 Who can vote? Who can vote? Who's that young lady? Where's she at? 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 Come on. Don't look at me while I'm looking at you, looking at you, looking